their first losses of the season after 2 opening wins on each side. And this game is being broadcast in Spanish, where available using the SAP button on your television. So the Raiders won the toss, Tony, and they elected to defer. They're going to kick it to the Broncos to start.
I love that decision. In an environment like this, Jim, what happens is early in the game, you don't want your offense to come out against this great defense. You steal a possession in the second half. Everyone's off, going to the bathroom, getting a beer. You get half the crowd noise. Oakland gets a possession to start the second half as if they were almost in a neutral environment.
Giorgio Tavecchio boots it through the end zone, and that'll bring out Simeon and the Broncos offense. Again, won the first 2, then lost at Buffalo. Those first 2 games, look what Simeon did. Threw 6 touchdown passes in his first 57 attempts. Nothing to speak of here in recent form, but he's a good starter here at home in his career. 7-2, his 10th career home start. And they have been bolstered by this left tackle they drafted out of Utah in the first round, Garrett Bowles. And C.J. Anderson leads the league's 3rd-ranked rushing attack through 3 weeks. They're going to start out with 2 tight ends, both Virgil Green and Jeff Hireman in, and run the football with Anderson. And the Raiders are on him. Smother him right at the line. Corey James. This Ken Norton Jr. defense has not had an interception on the season, but Mack is doing his usual thing. The Defensive Player of the Year in the league a year ago. A 5th-round rookie in the middle, Markel Lee out of Wake Forest. And a secondary that was scorched last week. There's Joseph, 2nd-year player out of West Virginia, taken to the first round a year ago. Kirk Cousins beat him up for 365 and 3 touchdowns. Now here's Simeon. Taken down back at the 11 by Mario Edwards Jr.
You're seeing a guy that's going to become a household name. Mario Edwards. He's going to go ahead and just run a TE here and just up the middle. They put him over the left guard right there, Garcia. And he just beats him. They're moving him around a lot, Edwards, Jim. He is a young, explosive, talented guy who's coming into his own.
Well, when you talk to Ken Norton, he told us the defensive line is the strength of our defense. And they've shown it on those first 2 plays, setting up a 3rd and 20. Back at the 15. They'll go draw with Anderson, trying to get some of it back. And he takes it out to about the 23. So 3 plays and a punt to open things for the Broncos, and the Raiders' decision to kick it away looks to be a good one. And here's Dixon, Riley Dixon, 2nd-year punter out of Syracuse. Last year he set an all-time NFL rookie record for net average. Back deep is Richard of the Raiders. Richard takes it at the 35. Trying to spin away, can't do it. Tackle 38-yard line. That's Benny Fowler, the wideout on special teams, making the tackle. Out comes Derek Carr. Just a really un-Carr-like performance last week. 118 passing yards, a couple of picks. The second snap of the game, he tried to go deep, but that was intercepted. The offensive line surrendered 4 sacks. Last year, they gave up only 18 for the whole year. Penn just got his contract finalized. Everyone on that offensive front is under contract for at least a couple of years. And Roberts is in for Crabtree, who is down. He's inactive with a chest injury. Marshawn Lynch trying to test the #1 rush defense on that first play, and he got one. Yeah, they are some kind of force against the run. They've gone up big time against big-time players. Pecco, a big part of that reason, coming over as a free agent from Cincinnati. And Vaughn Miller finished 2nd by just a vote last year to Mack for Defensive Player of the Year. And Talib already has a pick 6 this season, his 10th of his career. 2nd and 8. Cook is split wide to the left, their tight end. They go underneath, and that's a catch by Patterson, but he's 3 or 4 yards short of the first. Jack Del Rio, of course, used to be the defensive coordinator here, Tony, and one time when John Fox had to sit aside for about a month because of heart surgery, Jack was the interim coach here and went 3-1.
Players for Oakland love him. This place is insane.
Yeah,
I haven't heard this sound standing in the booth at this point. This is special.
Washington comes in. It's a third down back. 3rd and 3. And Carr pump fake couple times and over everyone's head. There's Marshall on the coverage and others. And just like the Broncos, the Raiders unable to pick up a first down on an opening possession. Marquette King, number 1 in the league here early in the year in gross average and net average. What a leg he has. Isaiah McKenzie, you saw him back deep, the rookie out of Georgia. Big hang time. And just batting it out of bounds is McKenzie. So 43-yard punt. Got the job done. Pinned them inside the 20. And Vance Joseph had a chance to visit with him yesterday for the first time. And of course, the new coach here of the Broncos, and can't help but walk away and say, man, now you really understand why this guy's a head coach.
He was impressive, and he knows offensive ball and defensive. And not all head coaches in the National Football League are like that. They usually stick to one side. He goes into both meetings every day. You know, they had a great hire. Good job by John Elway.
3 receivers in for Simeon. Here you see his home record against the division. 3-1. And again, the Raider defense steps up, makes the play. That's T.J. Carey, and a loss of 1.
Carey's getting more snaps. He's taken over. You know, Emerson and Smith just aren't playing that high level of football yet, and Carey's doing a pretty good job back there. He's the one guy in the secondary you'd say has done a good job to start the season.
And they're going to be without Garyon Conley, their first-round draft pick. He's out with the shin injury. 2nd and 11. Simeon's throw. Oh, it's right there for Fowler. Just over the reach of the Raider defender, Emerson. And Fowler has the catch for 17.
I'm not saying he got away with one, but you're going to see Fowler go up on a corner route, and it's cover 2, and he just throws it right over the top of Emerson there. And it's a great throw. It's perfect. Not one that you would tell someone design-wise to just run out there and throw catch.
Puts the football out at the 28.
Omaha,
And looking down the field, Simeon. Incomplete, going for Thomas, and no flag. T.J. Carey, who had made the tackle on the first snap of this series behind the line, was the defender, and the crowd here wanted interference.
Thomas is going to run up, make him feel like he's running the middle, and then go on a deep corner route, and this ball is almost thrown to the back pylon, and a perfectly thrown ball. And Carey's there early. He just gets away with a non-call.
Should have been one, you think?
Yeah, it's a little early, and the ball's 45 yards downfield. I mean, that ball hit Thomas in his hand in stride. That's one of the hardest throws in football.
An extra offensive lineman comes in, Stevenson, on 2nd and 10. And that's an immediate takedown by Mack on Anderson. So 3rd down, 3rd and about 7 coming up. C.J. Anderson, he's been healthy and he's been running hard. He's 5th in the league through the first 3 weeks of the season.
Well, you're seeing probably the best version of C.J. Anderson, because he's in the best shape, you know, probably since he's been in the NFL. And sometimes when you bring in a Jamal Charles, you bring in a guy or two, and Jim
gets your attention, right?
Gets his attention. He's playing good, and I tell you, this team appreciates it because they needed it.
They also have Devontae Booker up for the first time this year, coming back from wrist injury. He led him in rushing last year. 3rd and 7. Simeon floats it. Somehow it's caught. And again, it's Fowler with the catch. Mack was closing in on Simeon.
Well, you're going to see, it's just a jump ball, and it could have been to either guy.
Derby was the other one who thought it was for him. We got Mack with the contact.
I think it probably was for Derby, and he just
got away from him a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? sometimes you need a break. And then all of a sudden everything opens up for you.
I had just mentioned Booker. Broke his wrist in the summer, been out 3 months, and now this is his first snap. He's the tailback here on first down. And Simeon goes up top again, and he's got Derby this time. Derby tried to catch that previous ball that Fowler was able to pluck out of the air. 29 yards to the backup tight end.
What a wonderful job. You're going to see Derby right here, and he's going to come all the way up the sideline, and it's 4-by-1. Watch how the running back comes this way. Oakland doesn't know how to match it, so no one guards Derby up the sideline. Well-designed play. Good throw. Nice.
And on that tackle, Emerson lowered a shoulder on Derby, and he was shaken up.
And Jim, when I say 4-by-1, you see how the running back ran to the same side as those 3 receivers? Usually you want to space the field. When you do that, you're trying to get one guy not to get covered, really. And all of a sudden, he just gets wide open. That was obviously a special play they wanted to open the game with early.
Mike McCoy has come back to Denver, where he previously served as the offensive coordinator and came out with different styles, whether he was being the coordinator for Tebow or Manning, and then, of course, went down and coached the Chargers for 4 years. And now he's back in Denver, and this offense has changed, going back from what Kubiak did. It's, now we got here in Denver, you'll see more of a West Coast kind of flair.
I tell you, when you go to McCoy's offense, you go right into trigonometry and math. It's a great thing for a quarterback. You get to utilize your skill set, see what's going on with the mic points, change the protections, the scheme that you have. It's really neat and cool, and I know Simeon's loving it.
Yep, he's a good one. McCoy, now the thin secondary for the Raiders, already without Conley and McGill, both inactive. Sees Emerson go to the sideline. Here's a first down play, and trying to take advantage of it. What a catch! Oh, he catches it, spears it with one hand, and Derby finds the end zone.
This is really special. Look at this catch by Derby on the sideline. Just a one-handed ball, and he's wide open, and you're kicking yourself the next day as a staff and the quarterback if you overshoot this. You guys didn't get a chance to see this, but Derby was the fullback on that play. I've never seen that. The fullback ran a wheel route into the middle of the field and then up.
Extra point is good by McManus, and he was a quarterback at Arkansas. Beckham style. Derby.
Look at you showing off that range, Jim.
His first career touchdown. And there may be many more, who knows, but it'll be hard to ever top the style points of this one. We've got an update. Let's go back to the studio in New York.
Field goal earlier, back to Jim Nance.
Well, how do you figure? Things certainly going a lot better for that team than anyone would have imagined. And there you see Simeon celebrating this throw right here, but it's all about the catch.
You're going to watch him go right through the line as a fullback and then out and then up the sideline. Can't even get it in the screen there. Right there. Watch this. Right through the middle and then to the flat and then up the sideline. I mean, you're asking a rookie Markel Lee, 55, to defend a play he's never seen before.
Yeah. A big welcome to the Mile High City to all of you watching that overtime game between the Jets and the Jags. Jim Nance and Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson here in Denver. The Broncos just scored on their second series of the game. They marched 88 yards and then got the touchdown connection between Trevor Simeon and A.J. Derby. And it was a beautiful catch. First time the Raiders had it was 3 and out. They go with Lynch. Give him about 3, and Pecco emphatically says, no, not in here. Domata Pecco was on that defensive front for Marvin Lewis's Bengals for so many years, and he comes here, and you started watching tape in in the preseason, you said, boy, is he making a difference here.
This is not last year's Denver Broncos front. They are big in the middle, and you cannot run the football on them consistently. You're going to have to throw the ball to beat these guys.
2nd and 6. Got a flag out. John Perry's crew is in control of this one.
Ball start. Offense. 187. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Two tight ends for Oakland. Had a big part of the nation about to join us right in mid-play. Marshawn Lynch rumbles out to the 29 as we welcome many of you. We got a holding call on that last play against the Raiders, along with Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson. Jim Nance here.
Holding. Offense. 61. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's 7-0 Denver. 2nd series for the Broncos. They go down the field 88 yards, and look at that catch. Serious style points for A.J. Derby as Vance Joseph and the Broncos staff celebrate the completion of a great drive. This is the 2nd time now Oakland's had the football. Still looking for its first down. 2nd and 21. They go underneath for just a few yards to Patterson. Give him 5. The Raiders today without Michael Crabtree. He's inactive because of a chest injury. Suffered last week in their dismal performance, and there he is at Washington. But you come into this no-fly zone, as they call it. You go against corners like Talib and Harris and Roby. Not that Crabtree and Cooper have had much success against them, but without Crabtree, they're going to have to find other ways, like the tight end Cook and others today.
You're not kidding, and you don't want 3rd and 15. Expect Denver just to rush 4 here and make them beat them by blocking the front 4.
On 3rd and 16, Carr with a flag out goes again to Patterson and Darian Stewart, and that defense bouncing around and giving them nothing.
This will be declined.
Offense, number 72. Penalty declined. 4th down.
Face mask call against the left tackle, Donald Penn.
It's really Baird just does a good job getting inside on Penn, and we saw this a little bit last week. Junior Gillette, the speed guys kind of give him a little bit of trouble there. You're seeing just a little bit of leakiness on that line that was so dominant a year ago.
Yeah, they had issues last week, as we discussed, against the Redskins, and Carr was taken down 4 times in that loss to Washington when they managed only 128 yards total offense.
He was only sacked once last year, 3 times.
There's King's punt to McKenzie with a flag out, and he turns the corner, and King can't push him out either, and McKenzie finally is bounced out near the 10, but there's a flag back at the other end of the field. A 60-yard return after a 52-yard boot.
There were some big-time blocks on that return, and
maybe one of them wasn't a legal block.
Carter had the big one. I mean, it was just, we're going to see what the call is, because it was before that happened when they threw the flag, and then another one came out. Long discussion going on.
Yeah,
Jim.
but the Broncos offense has already come onto the field on their own side, back at the 20.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 91. Penalties declined. During the kick, holding. Return team number 20. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down.
Well, that was Carter, who you identified. He was called for holding. That's the one they'll take.
So you're going to see Carter right here, right there. And you can't do that to the helmet or the neck area, Jim.
Welcome back to Denver. Both the Broncos and the Raiders told us this week they just wanted to get back to playing football. The Broncos held a team meeting, all decided to stand for the national anthem. As you can see, Brandon Marshall raising his fist. He's been very vocal since last year. On for the Raiders, just Marshawn Lynch sat as he always does. Jim?
Well, that last penalty, thank you, Tracy. There was a hold call earlier on the Broncos. That's the one they stepped off as they are now back at the 10 for this first down play. And again, they've got an open target. It's Sanders.
Good job by Simeon extending the play. There's a two-man route. And here's the penalty earlier. And you're going to see Carter with the hold earlier. And they called the hold, not what I thought was another penalty later on Carter when he hit him, a defenseless player in the neck area. So he was going to get a penalty on that play one way or another.
55! Swat!
Simeon already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter as Jamal Charles busts up the middle and exposes that speed that has been his calling card for so long in Kansas City and now Denver.
You're going to see the center Paradis right here. Move him right out of the way. And Charles, last week on tape, looked like young Jamal Charles. That cut, one jump cut there and finish, boy, they could have gotten a steal. If this guy's the old Jamal Charles that he has been last week and that run, steal.
Yeah, he's, of course, been fighting injury issues. Knees, played only 8 games the last 2 years total. Another first down snap for Simeon. And another catch by Sanders, or is it? Yes, it is. Two of the last 3 plays.
Watch his feet right here at the end. He's great at dragging these. He's been doing this for years. This is a tough matchup on the outside for Smith and this Oakland defense. They play a lot of man-to-man. And I don't want to see Sanders and Thomas when you're playing a lot of man-to-man.
2 catches on this drive for Emmanuel Sanders for 28 yards. Jordan Tabor's coming as a wide out. They're going to run it. They're running with Charles. It's down to the 39.
And just a power play with Garcia on the edge, and Charles showing that ability. Keep watching this. This is going to be interesting to watch as this progresses because they're going to keep him out there if he keeps playing like this.
A lot of our audience joined us late, and it's worth updating that David Emerson went out of the game on that touchdown drive, and we're hearing from Tracy that it's a concussion, his second one suffered of the season, and they're without their rookie corner, Conley, and another member of the secondary, McGill, and Simeon's taking advantage and looking to again as he goes down the field, and a flag's coming out on Reggie Nelson.
Nelson gets there early.
Defense, number 27, automatic first down. Spot of the foul.
Denver loves to take these shots in this area of the field. They get in that 40-yard line range, and you're going to watch right at the end. The ball's high, but he gets bumped right there. Nelson just got to time that up. He's looking at the ball. He can see the ball. It's tougher when you can't see the ball. When you see the ball, I mean, have a little awareness. Just be a little softer right at the top.
Of course, Reggie Nelson's longtime veteran in this league. He's had a big career. 11 years. First and goal. Getting round to Anderson for 3. Jack Del Rio's team, they were just putting last week's performance behind them. They didn't want to look at the tape. Coming back from Washington, it was a debacle. We're moving on, he said, but they could be in a big hole once again on the road early. Second and goal. Out of the backfield. That's Anderson. Good job of pushing him out by McDonald.
Yeah, as football teams, when you have that, I mean, that's the worst offensive performance of the year based on yards of any team in the NFL this year, and really the second worst in the last 2.5 years. And when you're a coach and you're Oakland, the team, you want to just move on to the next week. You know what? This isn't us. We're moving on, and you go right past it. And you hope these guys get that out of their system and they don't think about it again. But if it happens again today, watch out. Then it becomes a trend.
Derby, who caught the first touchdown, is lined up on the left side in the slot. 3rd and goal. And timeout called.
Now they're going to get a false start first.
False start, offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Those are big plays at the 5-yard line, and what happens is Oakland's going to run an all-out blitz, and Denver decides, you know, they get a little antsy, and you're going to see right here. Here he comes. He feels all these guys. They jump. 3rd and 10 makes it much more difficult.
Yep. 3rd and goal from the 10, and Simeon surrounded, somehow squeezes out of it. Flings it incomplete to avoid the sack and the pressure by Mario Edwards, who already sacked him early in the game. Big stand, though, for that Raiders defense.
It is. In 3rd and 10, you're going to see guys got to get up into the end zone. You know, we had a guy in the back of the end zone, and right there, you want to look right and throw back against that shell coverage, and he's wide open there. But when you're rolling left, you can't turn and make that throw.
Physically, no way he could have gotten that pass over there. And McManus with 28 yards coming up. And it is good. Now 5-7 on the season. 10 points here in the opening quarter. Broncos.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. AT&T. And by the new McCafe Espresso menu. Nothing comes before coffee.
The Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Look at the game summary. In fact, the last 2 weeks now, Redskins and now the Broncos, Oakland has been outgained 238 to 37 yards in the first quarter and outscored 17-0. Outgained by 201 yards. It's a Bronco team that has not allowed a single first quarter point. And we just have a minute to go in the first quarter here as Patterson takes off and McManus slowed him down. Yeah, the kicker was able to stand his ground on that sideline, and his teammates came over and finished him off. Nice return of 47. Don't miss the premiere of the new crime-solving drama, Wisdom of the Crowd. Jeremy Piven comes to CBS tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Uh-oh, it's the kicker.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you asking a kicker to do? That's not bad. Great return right there. That's why he's all pro.
Yeah, Patterson was first-team All-Pro kick returner last year as a member of the Vikings. And now Carr and the Raiders try to go down the field to Lynch, and that was Todd Davis running right with them. Oakland still looking for its first down, and these are the anemic numbers, Tony, at Washington.
It was a rough one for him, and they want to throw that tape out. Washington got up and got physical. It was the first team in the year that said, we're not going to give you any of these 5-yard, 4, 8-yard little plays underneath. You're going to have to be aggressive down the field and hold this football. Denver's going to do the same thing today. You're not going to see a lot of zone coverage.
Amari Cooper's at the bottom of the screen, and he's got Roby on him. He has not been targeted here. Coming off his worst game in his 3-year career. And the give is to Patterson, who they've shown at running back starting week 2 against the Jets, and he broke one there for 43 yards. That one, though, good for only 2. So, again, trying to solve the riddle here, how to move the football on this Bronco defense. 3rd and long coming up. They have not converted so far the first 2 third downs after 0 for 11.
You start to get antsy, and the coaching staff starts to feel it. And just listen to this crowd. I mean, it really is electric in here. I can't stress this enough. This is hard on the quarterback.
Third and 8, Carr's pass. Oh, jumping right in front of Cooper was Will Parks.
It was really just just a hair behind him, and Carr knows he's two-man. You got to throw out breaking routes. He does. He gets to the right place and just throws a little behind them. The environment, I'm telling you, just you feel the guys. You get amped up, and you just got to calm down a little bit and get into the game.
A punt to close the quarter. King to deliver it down the field to McKenzie. Third punt for King. Oh, what a bounce. He's unbelievable. Marquette King. That ball goes out of bounds near the 4.
And here comes something. I knew there was something coming cool.
The rest of this team needs a little giddy up, doesn't it?
Hey, you did that last week.
Denver up 10-0 after 1. Let's go inside Tony's tape room.
Yes, Tony's tape room. You're going to see everyone knows about Khalil Mack and his power, but guess what? Arguably one of the 2 best pass rushers. He's got speed, too, off the edge. Then there's Von Miller, the other guy. He's a fast guy off the edge, gets low, but guess what? He's got power, too. They both have everything. These 2 are special.
King's punt puts the Broncos back near the 5 to start the second quarter. And nothing there for Anderson. Maybe a yard.
Denver off to a pretty good start, Jim, and you know when they get off to a good start and you let this pass rush go, it makes for a long day on opposing quarterbacks at Mile High.
Beautiful 70-degree day here in the Mile High City. Makes a tackle, and Smith gets carried out to about the 14, gain of 8. Third and 1 coming up here, Tony. The last 2 plays, handoffs to Anderson. Coming up is Carl Joseph. That looks like they're already signaling move the chains. Near side line official says that's a first down. So they're able to get out of that jam back at the 5-yard line with 3 carries by Anderson. And this is coming out, of course, Tony's tape room. I've often wondered, where is the tape room at the old Chateau? I know you got the golf simulator, you got a few other tricks. Where would we go and find Tony's tape room?
Well, my wife allowed me to have a little closet in the corner.
Is that what it is? Okay.
So I appreciate her for that.
Ball batted in the air. Reggie Nelson, and it's incomplete.
You know, free safety blitz by Reggie off the left, and Simeon trying to get rid of this ball, and well designed right there by Oakland. When they pressure you and a guy comes free and the guys that are the hot routes are covered, that's a good defensive plan.
Looked like Simeon was trying to go over to McKenzie. 2nd and 10, and Booker returns. Janovich, the fullback. Here's Booker. And that's his first carry of the season. Again, he led him in rushing last year. It wasn't dazzling numbers. Anderson was healthy really for only about half the season, so Booker ended up a little over 600 yards, and a lot of folks thought he would have a big season coming up. But they go out in the offseason, they sign Jamal Charles. Anderson gets into the best shape of his career, and they've got, like we've seen other places around the league, they've got 3 guys.
Yes, but here's the thing. It's always a problem earlier in the year, but people get hurt. It's a good problem to have when you got 3 guys you trust and you can play. And here comes Oakland right up and then probably back out. Yep.
They do rush 5, and the pass is dropped. And that is Corey James, who hit Derby from behind and helped jar that ball out. So they'll have to punt for the 2nd time in this game.
And then you're going to see Derby go up here and he makes the incredible one-handed catch on the sideline and just turns his body, you already have the first down. Just catch it. Those right there, you just catch, put them right into your chest and fall down. You got the first down.
You just described Jason Witten.
He's pretty good at that, isn't he?
Made a career out of it. Riley Dixon's punt to Richard. Breaks the first tackle attempt. And Oakland will be set up at about the 33. 54-yard boot. Raiders offense trying to get going next.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. Choose FedEx Ground for your affordable and fast shipping. And by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
Some of the scenery from the gorgeous state of Colorado, Rocky Mountain State. And the Broncos have come up big here at the start of this game, especially the defense. This is the fourth time now the Raiders have had it. Still looking for a first down, and here they run it for no gain. Marshawn Lynch, but we remind you, Thursday Night Football. Brady and the Patriots, Winston and the Bucks. New England and Tampa Bay. We'll see you Thursday night on CBS and NFL Network.
This has been a long one game and one quarter for Derek Carr.
It looks very similar to last Sunday night, doesn't it, so far?
They've got to get a first down.
The longest play so far is 5 yards. Here they are on 2nd and 10. Carr with a flag out, able to hit Cook. Pass play went for 13 if it holds up.
It's a good job by Carr to stand in and wait.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense for 54, penalties decline, first down.
Again, these two teams, as you see Cook make the catch, their first down of the game.
And you see Cook, this is the one matchup you got to be able to exploit. And you're going to see right here the safeties. All these guys are going to match inside, and they're going to say no short passes for 3 to 4 yards. Cook's going to go up 4 yards and get swallowed up. Carr's going to have to make difficult passes like that all day with guys around him.
First down. Carr zings it. He's got it. That's Roberts with the catch. Again, Roberts stepping in today, taking Crabtree's position. That picks up 15.
This is a great design because what happens is they're running east and west. Like I told you, they want to match you inside, right? They don't want to give you these little stick routes, which are 5 yards turn around. You got to run east and west.
Washington with the handle. Into the line for about 4. These two teams won their first 2 games, and then last week on the road, Denver lost at Buffalo. Raiders routed by the Redskins, so they come in at 2-1. They got Kansas City in their division off to a hot start. This is one of the best divisions, if not the best division in football. It is an early season key game.
Very key. And if you're Oakland, you don't want to go to Denver for the key game. I know that.
2nd and 6. Carr rolling out, throwing it, and incomplete. 2 defenders in the area of Cook, including Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons taking over the position that had been held down the last few years by T.J. Ward, who they let go of, who they lost in free agency.
And you see a great job by Simmons closing and getting the hand to make this throw go high and away. He's athletic, he's aggressive, they like his potential. He's not there yet, but they think down the line he's got a chance to be a good player.
3rd and 6, and you know who you look out for right here if you're the Raiders. 58.
I think you got to go to the tight end, or you got to have a crossing route.
Carr gets rid of it quickly, and that's going to be short of the first. Cook with Parks backing him up, and I believe it's a nice solid yard short.
Is this even a guess? This is Jack Del Rio. They're going for it, aren't they?
Riverboat Jack.
He goes for it
last year.
He goes for 2 to win the game in the NFL.
Yeah, he did.
He opened the season, right?
Last year down in New Orleans.
He's the gambler.
And it paid off, and it set the pace for their 12-4 season.
Every gambler knows, Jim. You got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him. Let's see if he's a good gambler or not.
4th and less than a yard. They ask Lynch to get it, and it's not even close. Had his legs taken away early by Derek Wolfe. Denver takes over on downs. Bypassing what would have been a 50-yard field goal attempt. Recent disasters, natural disasters, have impacted millions in the United States and Mexico, and we recognize the significant impact of Hurricane Maria across Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, inviting fans across the country to join in a huddle for relief for those affected by this catastrophic event. Visit redcross.org/NFL or text Maria to 90999 to donate $10 to American Red Cross. First down carry by Charles. He's got close to 10 with that carry. Let's go down to Tracy.
Jim, it's been a tough few weeks for Broncos left guard Max Garcia, as many family members were affected by the hurricane in Puerto Rico. Then this week he lost his grandfather down there. Garcia told me 10 of his family members just landed in Puerto Rico. While grieving the death of his grandfather, they will also give their best efforts to help with the hurricane relief. They brought tons of suitcases filled with supplies, Jim.
Thank you, Tracy, and our hearts go out to Max Garcia. He's seen his teammates pitch in and write checks. Charles, you saw a couple of plays ago, was dinged on that run for 9 yards. Came on the...
Ooh, helmet right to the knee.
Yeah, Joseph inflicting that hit. But a new set of downs for Denver from the 43. Fake into the line with Anderson. Simeon airing it out and over the head of Isaiah McKenzie, the rookie drafted in the 5th round out of Georgia. So Simeon was so effective in that first quarter, taking advantage of that thin secondary for Oakland. He was over 100 in that first quarter.
Yeah, Oakland's in trouble because they weren't that great in the secondary to begin with. Now they've definitely taken, two starters basically are out.
Anderson knocked back a loss of 1 by Lee. And Ron Leary, the right guard you're familiar with, they signed him in the offseason. Felt like they got the best guard available in free agency when they picked up him.
They did. Unsung hero for the Dallas Cowboys. Him and Doug Free both retired, and he comes over here and provides maturity, leadership, toughness. They love him here, and I really enjoy playing with him. He's really a good talent.
Simeon started 7 of 8. He's missed on his last 4 passes. 3rd and 10. That was Mack putting pressure on him, and Anderson about 1.5 yards short of the first. Give him 8 with that one. Morrow on the final tackle.
Watch Mack come around the top, right around Watson, showing off that speed. And I don't like when he's chasing me from behind right there. You're going to get rid of that ball, and there he is. Watson, who played for Oakland, came over this year. They know each other well. The one way you can get Watson, speed.
4th and 2, and they've got the offense out there. They just be trying to draw him off, who knows. Got a 10-0 lead.
You have to be trying to draw him off sides here, Jim. If they snap this ball, I'd be very shocked. This is a very aggressive play. That's pretty good, though. The 5-yard penalty doesn't hurt you. The only thing that happens is after the game, there's always the guys like your coach, with too many penalties and blah, blah, blah. The coaches who are okay with some of the stats not looking great, that's a smart move right there, because you don't waste a timeout. The 5 yards doesn't hurt you in the punt because he's going to go inside the 10 anyway. So he's either going to fair catch it or hit it into the end zone. If anything, it gives him a little bit of space. I like that. High thinking by the coach there, Vance Joseph.
Dixon to punt it. New returner back. It's TJ Carey. Runs away from this one. And Fowler keeps it in the field. Play. It got batted around a couple of times. Casey Kreider, the snapper, also was down. Look at that balance.
Gonna look at this replay. You're gonna look at this replay. Casey Kreider, right here. See if his foot touches the end zone right there. That doesn't. Was the right hand on it? Show me the other angle. The left hand wasn't touching. Now look at his right hand. He's about to touch. Is the right hand touch it? Right. Oh, that pinky.
Did the pinky make contact?
Nope. Let's start it from the one. Here we go.
Okay. No challenge flag from the Oakland side.
They're going empty from the one.
I hear your anxiety. Carr threads it to Lee Smith. You talk about a gamble, huh?
He went empty from the one in Mile High.
That's it.
And I'm nervous, and I'm just calling the game.
Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator.
They trust that play. That's their bread and butter, just Y stick. That's actually one of the plays that Denver just wanted to come out and shut down completely with playing man tightly inside of 5 yards.
Lynch spins around, matches his longest run of this game. That's now 5 carries for 10 yards for Lynch. This ground game for the Raiders, we've gone back and chronicled what happened at Washington a number of times, but they had only 22 yards rushing. They got behind early, 9 carries for 22. So far, no success on the ground today here either, 7 for 16.
Well, you remember Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator for Oakland, he's on Denver's staff this year. You think he was in a defensive meeting once or twice this week for Denver?
2nd and 6. Pump fake, looking right. No one there. That's the second time somewhere in the area of Cooper who's been held without a catch. But Musgrave, we saw Musgrave yesterday at the facility, and he's trying to underplay it. I don't know. No, I didn't really deal with those guys that much on defense. But he, of course, he had success in Oakland. Decided to make a change, though, and go to Downing at the end of the year.
Well, all of training camp, when you're an offensive coordinator, you have to find a way to beat your defense. He knows the tendency of this Oakland defense. But guess what? That offensive system hasn't changed that dramatically. He knows their offensive system as well. I know he helped Denver this week in meetings.
3rd and 6. Can they get a conversion? Yes, they can, as Richard starts to kick it into another gear, thanks to Hudson and Jackson opening holes. And guess what? For the first time in 2 weeks, the Raiders have a 3rd down conversion.
Watch this right here. 2-man. That means he's guarding the running back, man to man. Now watch. One of the guards is going to have to get this guy or the center, otherwise it's a dead play. Great job by Oakland getting up on him. Creates their first down in 2 weeks. Feels like a month for those guys, I promise you.
They picked up 20 after failing on their first 4 3rd down occasions. Johnny Holton is a receiver at the bottom, 16. Here's Carr looking for a long ball, and that is Holton. He's got the catch, and he's got the touchdown. Snuck him in for the first time, and they go to him. The distance, 64 yards to complete a 99-yard drive.
Boy, did Oakland need that, Jim. You're going to see a switch right. Look at how tight this split is between these two. Now watch what happens as they get off this release. As they go up, you're able to drag that safety and put him in a one-on-one situation. And Holton up on Stewart and just runs right by him. And it's just that deep corner route we saw earlier by Thomas, and what a throw over the shoulder. And I'm going to tell you, secret to that play, watch the running back if we can show that after this.
Tavecchio for the extra point. The drive that began at the 1 when they went empty, completed 1 for 10, goes now 99 yards in all.
Derek Carr, he's out of the slump, and so is Todd Downing.
He's running even faster than his quarterback.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon, the best network and the best unlimited. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things fall.
You saw some of the iconic faces from this rivalry that began in 1960. Two original AFL franchises, and their first ever matchup came 57 years ago tomorrow. All right, it's the first Raider drive that went 99 yards since the game against the Patriots 6 years ago. McKenzie's been able to showcase his speed already once on a punt return that was called back. Tavecchio, the kicker, with Janikowski on IR, he has been quite the find. After being cut 6 times, he has proven he can perform at this level. How about that touchdown, Tony? What did you see?
Go look at this. Do you want to know how you get a 64-yard touchdown against the Denver Broncos? Right here, you chip off the edge, and you know who he's blocking? They designed this play to chip Von Miller. Von Miller's not in the game. So Carr gets to stand in and throw this ball 40-some yards in the air on a dime on a deep corner route. That's the way you defeat Denver. When he leaves the field, let's go ahead and throw it. That was well designed by the chip play to give him time going into the week.
I think it should be noted, too, it was a good throw for sure, but a really good catch by Holt. How many times have you seen guys get turned around and look around the wrong way and have a hard time fielding a over-the-shoulder catch like that, as Thomas has his first grab?
You're right, it's the Willie Mays catch. It's a really hard one.
That's what it was.
Receivers practice those all the time. They're tough.
Verizon halftime report is coming up. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Carr, all the latest scores and highlights. Some real amazing results earlier today. Carolina winning at New England, but a number of injuries around the league, including, it's being reported, a ACL tear for the decorated rookie for the Vikings, Dalvin Cook. As the give is to Booker. And speaking of injuries, what about Jamal Charles? Let's go down to Tracy with more.
Well, Jim, certainly scary as he took a helmet to the knee, but I was told that it was just a cut. They patched him up. He's on the sidelines, ready to go back in, Jim.
Oh, good.
Yeah, those just the cuts. That thing's probably 6 inches in length, and you know these guys are tough individuals.
He's had enough serious knee issues. Doesn't need to really miss any more time as Booker is able to get near the first down. Jamal Charles, though, if you look at what he's done in his career, and you hold your breath sometimes when a guy like that does get gimpy, given the history with the knee. His average per carry is up there with the best in history, and he's shown explosiveness to be able to be a big contributor this season if he can stay on the field.
You're not kidding. You're seeing it today. Last week, the coaches even saw it. They're going to rush up and run this 3rd and 1, although you want to get this one snapped, yes.
And that's Anderson. Goes low. Submarines for the first. Oh, we got a flag out.
Well, I like them getting up and snapping before because under 2 minutes. This is going to depend. Is it before or after the play?
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty replay. 3rd down.
How late was that?
They got that on Ron Leary, and I think that's the same thing that Vance Joseph is asking. So the 2-minute warning here in Denver. The Broncos lead at 10-7. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, brewed to be enjoyed responsibly. And by Hyundai, official sponsor of the NFL.
Yeah, that's the best way to beat the traffic, Tony. That's how you arrived here for this game.
I am a daredevil. Just don't have enough money.
Got Charles in the game, by the way. As we come out of the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 11. Dump it off to Charles. And look at him go.
They've got to keep this guy in the game. I mean, he's just, every time he touches it, I swear they're getting 10 yards of play. Last week, this week, he's a really bright spot. Good design. Look left, Simeon, and then come back. Get the D lineman. And a really good job by the center. There it is to get up on his guy. Now, here we go. Minute 30, Jim.
Here's Simeon looking down the sideline. Pass in the area of Thomas.
just early. Simeon just felt a little pressure, and he just needs to take a break. It's a curl route at 12 yards.
Again, the Verizon halftime report coming up. Scores and highlights, all the latest news with JB and the team back in the studio in New York. What have you thought of Simeon's performance so far?
He's done great. He's done great all year, really. I mean, the stigma that this guy is holding them back from a Super Bowl, it's wrong. He just needed a little help up front. They went out and got it in the offseason up front on offense and defense.
Yeah, it's going to go against the Broncos.
Ball start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Ron Leary having a tough drive here. False start on that one right there. He had the holding call on 3rd and 1. So we got 2nd and about 16, 15, Jim. And they have plenty of time. You got 3 timeouts. You can be safe with this. Throw a slant. Get the ball out of your hand.
Looking for another option and throws it away. As again, it was Edwards that was closing in on the quarterback.
I know the Raider fans know about this guy, but the rest of the world really doesn't. He's coming up. He's in the discussion to be in the Pro Bowl mix. To have him and a Mac, it's a big deal. He's got a lot of potential. Big guy, explosive.
And got a guy like Bruce Irvin, too.
I know. I mean, this front four, they're just not that good on the back end right now, and it's showing.
As far as guys going to get to the quarterback, there's Irvin. 3rd and 15.
Darby coming down to chip right here at the defensive end, Irvin. There you go, Derby chip.
Pick him up. Gives Simeon the time. Now they're on him, and he pays for it.
Now timeout.
Irvin, the one to get to him, and
Timeout,
James.
Oakland. Good job, they called it. So you're going to see Simeon gets a chip on both sides, which means the tight end and the running back hit the defensive end on their way out. And Simeon had the deep in cut open. He just had to move through the pocket. And when Irvin's bearing down on you, and James, you got to get rid of that ball. But I don't mind you holding it if you're going to throw it away there, because it makes them use a timeout.
1 minute and 8 seconds for the Raiders with 2 timeouts. Remember, they did defer at the start. So perhaps they can do something with this final minute of the first half. And then we'll get the football to start the 3rd.
Any week, normally, Oakland is going to be aggressive. This is a situation where they feel comfortable. They got a great quarterback. You know, you got weapons around them, a good offensive line. You know, but when you're in Denver, you just got to make sure, you know, you're going to have duress under you when they know you're throwing it on every down.
Dixon to boot it. Near the 30. Back deep is Jalen Richard. End over end. Fair catch signal. We'll start at the 11 with exactly a minute to go after a punt of 49 yards. Tavecchio might be called on, but the Raiders are going to have to move the football a considerable distance to bring him into play. He would be kicking into the wind, which will make matters more difficult for Carr to get him in range anyway. 2 timeouts, 1 minute, down 3. Tavecchio made a couple of 52-yarders week 1 at Tennessee. Ball batted away as Cooper was tangled up with Roby, and again, Cooper does not have a catch in this game.
This is dicey because Roby gets to play under man coverage, which basically means he has help over the top. So he gets to drive on any route that's breaking inside. And Roby did a great job of just recognizing slant and doing his job. You got help over the top, drive on the slant. You're not going to get beat for a touchdown.
Not only without a catch here, 1 catch over the last 6 quarters. And that went for only 6 yards. 2nd and 10. Richard out to about the 17.
I'd take a timeout if I was Denver. I trust my defense here. I think they're outstanding. This is the best part of our team. I'd take a timeout and say, go ahead. 3rd and 4, 50 seconds. Oakland's in that weird spot. Do we snap this quick, or do we kind of just wait a little bit?
I agree with you on Denver.
Now they should take it all the way down. They shouldn't snap this until 2 seconds. Denver should have taken a timeout.
Had they taken a timeout, made the stop, they would have, of course, had favorable wind conditions to try to set something up for McManus.
You'd have the ball at the 50 with about 48 seconds.
We'll be back after this timeout. And this word from FedEx.
Well, you see Vance Joseph right there. He knows that he probably should have taken one. And I know Oakland's a good offense, but you got to trust your defense to go 90 yards or even 60 or 70. I mean, it's really hard in this environment.
Defense had really been dominating except for one play.
They got to hand this ball off.
3rd and 4, seconds to go. Richard. And a flag.
If you're Denver, you're going to decline this. And you're going to try and block the punt. Yes, it's declined.
Holding. Offense number 66. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Now, Oakland's going to discuss this, but I think that what Oakland's going to do is either snap it to the punter or Derek Carr and run out of the back of the end zone. There's 2 ways to do this.
No reason to expose a punt here, and for any reason, so
well,
he's just got to kill 4 seconds.
I would snap it, to the punter. You hold everybody on Denver and you run out of the side of the end zone. If you're Oakland right here is going to roll to the right and throw, not to the back of the end zone, sorry on that. They're going to hold everybody and then end up downing it at the 2-yard line, basically, I'm saying. Right here, this is where the quarterback's going to roll right and launch the ball out of bounds. It's going to look weird.
Rolling right, launching out of bounds, and Tony stealing the signals once again. Well done, my friend. Well, that was a smart thing to do. There was no reason to even think about bringing your punter out.
No, but you could hold everybody. The punter stands there, moves around for a second, goes down at the 2-yard line, 4-yard line. But that's the right play. And really, you tell your guys to hold on that play, too.
Tracy?
Coach, a 99-yard touchdown drive to kind of end the offensive struggles, but how can you feed off of that?
Well, we want to do just that. This is a heck of a ball game. What do you expect? Divisional rivals going at it. We got a nice tight game. Looking forward to the second half.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Well, you could clearly see the wind out on the field. It's much more substantial than you might think. 10-7 lead Broncos at halftime. And halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Okay, look at the first half highlight presented by DirecTV. It was the first touchdown of the game. The one-handed catch. Suction cup style by Derby, who never ended up even cradling it. He just took it in all the way for bonus points. So now they'll come in. All the points scored in that first half were going in the opposite direction that Oakland's going right now.
Well, you saw at the end of the half, the wind, it's blowing, it's picked up here, and it's for real. And you're going to find Oakland might have a better shot at airing it out. I like what Derek Carr did. He settled himself in. It was tough early in the game, really tough environment. You feel comfortable. The crowd noise won't be as loud on this drive because everyone's out to the bathroom. That's why you defer to start the game.
Fake to Lynch, roll out, flip it to Roberts, and a flag. Thrown about 10 yards away from that.
Probably a legal man downfield on some of these bootlegs. Yep. Yeah, he was just doing it.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
All right, Tracy, down to you.
Jim, I spoke with head coach Vance Joseph coming out of the locker room, and he said just too many penalties in the red zone. He said they need to get back to playing clean football defensively. Just eliminate the big plays, and they will be fine, Jim.
Well, the one big play, 64 yards. Other than that, the Raiders have managed 101 yards of offense. Got a 1st and 15. Lofting it to an open man, and Cook could not get quite turned all the way around.
That's 2 throws today that Derek Carr knows he just missed on. And they were big plays. The other one was on 3rd down, and you see the corner route, and he runs right away from Davis. You just got to lay that to the sideline. That's a good job by Penn. Miller pushing him into him, but he had enough time to deliver that one.
Second and 15. The draw to Lynch. Can he get outside? Oh, they punish him back at the 21. Picked up just 1. Lynch 6 carries, 11 yards. He had 6 for 18 last week. And no signs of beast mode so far in this game.
You're seeing the same exact fronts and coverages that Washington deployed last week. And, you know, Marshawn, they brought him in kind of for games like this. You see, he didn't play last year. He started off, he looks good. He just hasn't, these last 2 games, they've really bottled him up with, you know, some of the packages they've brought. They're not allowing you to run the football against them. They want you to throw it down the field.
So Wolf getting some attention, and we'll be back in 30 seconds after this from the Home Depot. Wolf able to walk to the bench. 3rd down coming up for the Raiders. 3rd and 14.
They'll get a little sound here, but it won't be as loud as the first half. He should be able to communicate. He needs to stand in and deliver this one.
Goes short, and that's Cooper's first catch, and it goes for only, well, not even a yard. Well, they're going to give him 1. Official stats say 1.
This is the coverage that Oakland keeps seeing on 3rd down, and it's going to make Carr just hold the ball. Now watch, it's 2-man, 2-man. That means they're on the man-to-man with a high safety. They don't have to respect the deep throw. Now watch the corner at the bottom. See how he comes off? It's an outbreaking route, and the receiver breaking out has a corner there, and it's swallowed him up. It's a tough combination. It looks mannish, and it turns into zone at the end, and you can't throw the out route.
Oakland only 1 out of 18 now on 3rd down over the last 2 games. King with another good boot. McKenzie finished off near the 27. Marquette King with a 58-yard punt. Of course, tough day yesterday for the son of head coach Jack Del Rio. His son Luke, quarterback at Florida, broken clavicle. He's a starting quarterback, and season-ending injury for him. As C.J. Anderson scampers out to the 36. What have you seen out of Khalil Mack so far, Tone?
Everyone sees the sacks. What they don't understand is just holding that point, getting the ball carrier, hitting the quarterback. He feels that, making and disrupting the flow of the offense right there. Simeon has to let the ball go. He's disruptive even when you don't know that he's being disruptive.
We had him in a meeting with us yesterday along with Carr at the same time. They are the best of friends, and you asked Derek what makes him so special, and he said, well, he plays exactly how he practices. He does everything right.
You know what that tells me? This is a good run, a handoff there.
2nd and 2, and it's Anderson. Inside the 40, Nelson. Nelson ends the run, but it's a big one. It's 40 yards on the ground for C.J. Anderson.
This is difficult. Watch Mack right here. He's going to take the wrong gap. He makes it and just puts himself on the outside. He actually made the right one. Joseph was supposed to be there for the tackle. And you're going to watch. Mack has the outside contain, and he pushes him right where he's supposed to be, and Joseph has to be there for the tackle. And Mack right now is like, man, what else do I got to do?
It's the longest run of this season for the Broncos. And a timeout signal before the snap called by Denver. You were going to say about Carr and Mack and the way Mack practices and plays and does everything right?
Yeah, it reminds me, you know, of the guys on the team who are like the best players who do the walk through the right way. Carr and Mac, they do the walk through the right way. They go to the meeting on time. They're there. They're energized. They stay, late. They're there early. That to have your best players do that and a defensive end, I mean, that's rare and just it's special because the rest of the team feels that and they have to do it then, and that's helped this organization really transform and become, what they've become.
Mack, the first Raider to win Defensive Player of the Year since Lester Hayes, 1980. First down, Denver. And Simeon is taken down by Mack.
I think it was Mack. And this is just a bull rush into a big guy. Oh, Mack right now Mack's going, don't be on us. I just got a sack. Don't be on us.
Seriously. Let me have number 3 on the season.
There was
please.
no foul on the play. Second down.
He gets it. He gets the sack. And he got a trophy when he won the MVP award.
Now watch the bull rush, Jim, real quick right here. Just look at that. Right into 75 Watson, who's a strong, big guy. Sometimes you can beat him with speed, but no one really gets this Watson guy, with the bull rush, except for Khalil Mack.
Mack, who had 5 sacks in a game here in 2015. Last year beat out by 1 vote Miller for that award. Gave the trophy to his parents down in Florida. His mother has it. And here's the handoff. Pounded a 22 for Anderson. Gain of 5.
We didn't bring that up about the number of votes that Von Miller lost the Player of the Year by, did we?
It was, yes. It was interesting to hear both sides of it because it was 18 votes for Mack, 17 votes for Von Miller.
And that's right there how Miller looked when we told him. He said, hey, Von, how do you feel? It was 1 vote short. Yeah. And he goes,
how's that look? Right
he
there.
looked
That's
off
what
to
he
the
said.
side. He looked to the side again. And he kind of did his eyes a few times. And then he was like, yeah, it's that close.
But they did hang out together this summer when Vaughn put together a pass rusher camp at Stanford. Here's a 3rd and 7. And he's brought down 2 yards shy of the first. Again, Mack in on the tackle along with Irvin.
And it's good closing speed by Irvin. Now he takes him upfield, and here comes Mack and Irvin chasing you. And ouch. Right here, you want to protect that football. Simeon does a good job. Takes a little bit of a beating, but that's just part of playing the sport. A little easier up here in the booth.
As you're finding him.
It is, although having to deal with you on a daily basis, it's like a body blow left and right sometimes.
No, I'll try to take it easy. Here's McManus from 36 yards. The kick is good.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. The all-new Type R, the most powerful Civic ever from Honda. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
So the field goal by McManus at the end of a drive that came about thanks to C.J. Anderson's 40-yard run. He had 53 on the ground in all on that series. And Patterson awaits the kick. Steps up. He's going to take off from 3 deep. Oh, and he's tripped up. Ball came out. Ball came out at the end. They rule him down.
Ground can't cause the fumble, can it, Jim?
That's right.
He's down.
Just to make sure that's the case.
Yep, ground caused it. Elbow hits. See one more time to make sure here. Boom, elbow.
That was some tackle by Parks. So now the Raiders down 6. Nothing on the ground today, and that's consistent with what has happened against Denver's opponents this year. Or by Denver's opponents, they've got nothing to speak of. Lynch and Wolf, who was banged up a little earlier, holds him to 3. You look at the backs they've gone against. We're talking about big-time backs like Melvin Gordon, Ezekiel Elliott. Gordon with 54 yards. I mean, look at these premier guys. 9 for 8 in that blowout win over the Cowboys. And then last week, LaShawn McCoy, 14 for 21. In fact, the first play of the season, first rush against Denver of the season, Gordon went 21 yards. And since that first carry against them, the opponents have only averaged 1.6 yards per carry. 2nd and 7.
And on cue, Jim.
Yes.
That was right for you. I tell you what.
Best way to back up a story? Little visual example.
What do we call those? I don't even know. That's not a vignette or anything. It's something about that. It's like a planned movie. Look at this. It's a wonderful job with penetration by Barrett in the backfield. And this unit right here, you know, you just can't run it consistently on them. They went out and got Pecco. This is too dominant up front. You have to throw the ball to beat them, and you got to go against this. What do they call themselves in the back end?
The no-fly zone.
No-fly zone, and you're going to have to go into the fly zone to win this football game. Timeout.
Called by the Raiders. You talk about that no-fly zone and how you've got to try to attack it, but you don't have Crabtree.
It's difficult. When I look at the tape, there's really only two ways. This Denver defense is just outstanding everywhere. The one area that I see you could get them and attack them is at the tight end or running back positions in the pass game. You can match up with a safety or a linebacker. The other way, you block everybody up and you run double moves down the field.
Crabtree last year, early in the game, the lead came over and ripped right off. So take that thing off. Gold necklace, which is reattached. He was wearing it earlier today, but he's inactive. A pair of 1,000-yard receivers, Cooper and Crabtree, always struggling against the no-fly zone. Now, Carr, no chance. Derek Wolfe. It wasn't long ago he had to have medical assistance on the field and walked to the sideline, and he makes two big plays, 2 tackles for a loss, this one a sack.
This place, I mean, I just sat and watched that whole sequence. How cool was that? Bad if you're an Oakland fan, but great for Denver, who sent everybody on that play.
King, a rare shorter kick, and McKenzie shakes off the first tackler, and he's racing down the sideline before Luani has the angle on him, and King was there to help push him out.
No flags, it's going to stand. I'd always sit at home and be like, no flag, no flag, no flag.
29 yards, and there is no flag for sure. But he breaks that first tackle by Holton, who caught the Raider touchdown. And there's King. And then Luani said, you're not going to go any farther past me. There's McKenzie. Boy, he can really create some excitement in the special teams.
You're exactly right. He's explosive. You said you liked him this week, and you're like, watch this kid. He's good. And you're right on. That first guy, Holton, when you're down there, they don't make very many tackles. They want to push him a certain way to go to the rest of the defense. And he actually went the opposite, which is a great job by McKenzie to put the pressure on that special teams unit.
So they're at the 31.
Omaha, go, go, go.
And it's Anderson. Another big run ripped off by C.J. Anderson, who's from the Oakland area. His mother is a lifelong Raider fan. And just look at what he's done in this third quarter now.
Full zone away, and he sees the one cut backside. Great vision. Anderson stepping up, playing really well this year. And there's his mom.
That's his mother, Neva. She said, "I love you, son, but just not against the Raiders."
She had a Raider jacket on. Did you see it right there?
Yeah. She had a Bronco jersey, but she did have the Raider jacket. As Anderson stuffed at the line this time. Corey James and others, and we have a Bronco down. It's Watson, the right tackle, the former Raider, who battled injuries in all of his years in Oakland. We'll step aside here in Denver.
You're going to see Simeon. This is next-level quarterback play. You see Reggie Nelson there that can't block him. You should bring the receiver down. It's a run to the right, and you'll see from behind. Go get Nelson. C.J. Anderson knows he can't cut back because Nelson's a free block or a free rusher. That's next step for Simeon as he continues to grow into the quarterback position. Small, but they're big.
Stevenson comes in at right tackle with Watson able to walk off the field. He's rolled up on 2nd and 11. Trying to get set, but doesn't have that chance.
He does get it loose.
Out. And is picked up by the Raiders. It's Edwards with the football, and he takes several Broncos with him. Mack over Stevenson. The first time Stevenson comes onto the field at right tackle, he beats him and forces the fumble, the strip sack fumble.
This is a monster play in this game. You're starting right tackle, Watson goes out. You bring in a backup Stevenson, and on first down, he doesn't get any help. Actually, he does. He's supposed to get a chip from the back, and he splits the two of them. Let's see if his knee was down. Can we tell there? Let's rewind that. Show me that again. What a fantastic job by Mack to get the sack. Now watch this rip with his right hand. Watch this. Rip it. Oh, his knee.
It's close. You can't tell where the ball is from this side, but
I mean, do you know how amazing it is, though, to go get the sack as you're taking him down and then try to rip it with your right hand on the way down? Watch this. That left knee, though, down. Just can't tell right when the ball comes out. It looks like it's still in his possession at that moment.
You know, you're blocked on that view by Edwards. Could you tell the ball is moving at all at that point? That's the question.
It's moving there, but that's after he's down. Based on the rip, when Mack rips it, I feel like his knee hits the ground first. Because as he rips right, if you just look at when his, you know, we call that the can opener. There's the knee. That one's slipping out right there, though, at the end. But I think the knee was down just before that, right?
The question is it enough visual evidence to overturn the ruling on the field?
That's going to be the tough one. You know what they teach these guys? It's a can opener. I come in, I grab you from behind. It's
perfect description.
Rip it open.
Yeah.
As if you're trying to just get that top off. Open that can. I mean, how special is this guy?
Well, he's in this quarter alone. If it holds up, 2 sacks plus a forced fumble.
I mean, he's single-handedly keeping Oakland in this game. This is big.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's knee was down prior to the play.
Huge, huge call right there.
That was on 2nd down, I believe, Jim, wasn't it? It should be going to, I believe, 3rd down and
third down
probably 20-ish, 19 or 20. You're in field goal range. One score puts you, a field goal puts you up 2 scores. You got to be smart with the ball as the quarterback here. I'd want to go ahead and just run a draw, or if they all get down in there, give me the ability as a quarterback to change the play and throw a slant. The ball's coming out of my hand either way, trying to get anywhere from 5 to 12 yards.
By the way, Watson, who was out at right tackle for that play, has come back in. 75 Watson. 3rd and 19 from the 28.
Hand this ball off.
Raiders on him. There's Irvin on top. No gain.
Well done by the Raiders right there.
Be about a 46-yard field goal attempt for McManus. And like you say, if it's good, 2-score game.
And in this game, that feels like 5.
Well, the Raiders in this quarter, minus 6 yards of offense. So right on the number there, 46. It'll be Kreider snapping it back to Dixon.
Into the wind here.
Not a problem. We got another Bronco down. You saw McManus signaling for assistance.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by USAA, auto and home insurance for the military and their families. and by Blade Runner 2049, in theaters October 6th.
Back in Denver, and the Broncos with a pair of field goals in this third quarter by McManus. Short kick. And it's going to run out by Feliciano to about the 33. This Denver's defense has dominated except for one play.
It's the no-fly zone. If you look, everyone's covered. Right next to him, right next to him, right next to him. Carr feels it and has to be safe with every throw. And guess who's getting doubled on every play? Cooper. Everyone's man-to-man and they're tight, and Cooper has a safety on top of him every single time. It's a tough matchup. The way to do it, and this is what they've been like for a long time, but they're even better this year because they're shutting the run down.
There's Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator. You can see he was the DB coach before being the defensive coordinator, and his pass defense was the best in the league each of the last 2 years, and that's continued on as he stepped up now to be Joseph's DC. Here on first down, Carr in trouble again. Reach for his back. He reached for his back as he was falling down.
Oh boy, Jim. Oh no. Oh, he's not moving very much.
E.J. Manuel already up, warming up.
See if he gets kneed right here as he turns his back. Right there, I've gotten kneed before, and that's just you're trying to not take that shot from behind as you get twisted, and then you got to go down. And that knee, that left knee probably caught him right there in that low back. See if you can see it. Oh!
Plus his neck got twisted around at the same time.
Oh.
Yep.
That knee, that back right there is.
It's Gotsis who hit him.
Hopefully it's a stinger, you know, and you can kind of just makes your body go into this like shock type mode. But we'll see. It's real little movement. See how he's trying not to bend or. There you go.
So in comes E.J. Manuel. Came into the league, drafted in the first round by the Buffalo Bills. Signed as a free agent in the offseason. He beat out Cook to be the number 2. Cook inactive as the 3. Second and 14. Pass complete for about 4 to Lee Smith. Of course, Carr and this team was all systems go, and then all of a sudden the injuries started happening. Broke a finger on Thanksgiving Sunday against Carolina, and then week 16 against the Colts, broke his leg. And they didn't have him in the playoffs. He and Mariota last year were hurt on the same day. And they both broke broken legs last year on week 16. Mariota, I know you've heard, was injured today down in Houston. And Carr shaken up here in Denver as Manuel on 3rd and 10 whistles first.
He's so locked in on the defense, he forgot about the play clock. That's just coming out from the sideline and little things.
Play game, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Carr has gone inside the tent on the Raiders sideline for examination. Now, these teams played week 17. It was actually the first day of this year, January 1. And Matt McGloin was the quarterback for the Raiders, and Derek was back home watching it on television and calling out plays like you do.
I think he knows his offense better than I do, but this is a tough environment. It'll be interesting to see the play call. They're going empty, and they're going to let him throw it.
It's over to Patterson, and they'll give him that all day. Picks up just a couple, maybe 3.
Oakland's in a tough spot. You're down 2 scores. You got your backup in. You're on the road in Denver. Place is rocking.
6 drives in this game, Tony, going in this direction for the Raiders, and they've been 6 3-and-outs.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a randomish stat, but, you know, they just haven't done anything.
Can't pick up a first down. You know, the thing is, you're actually with the wind, though.
I know. That's why it's a little strange. I think it's more to do with Denver's defense and how dynamic they are. I think, oh, here it is!
King! Jordan Taylor was wise to it. There is a flag down in the area where he was tackled.
I think it's going to be taunting of some kind on Denver, or I'm sorry.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicker, number 7. 15-yard penalty. First down.
How can you get taunting when you get stopped on a 4th down play? He must have launched the ball. There's really no other way.
King right here.
Yes, that's exactly
the flag. How about going for the fake on 4th and 11 on your own side of the field?
I mean, I'd like to have, you know, guts. I'd like to have, you know, we're going to be aggressive, but that's the most almost obvious situation. 4th and 11, down 2 scores late in the 3rd. You got a backup quarterback in. You got to find a way to win the game. It was just a little too soon, I felt like, to make that call.
Boy, 11 yards, though, you're asking. I know that's an awful lot to ask for. It backfired last week, same decision for Denver up in Buffalo as Charles loses a yard. We are going to New York for an update. JB.
All right, take a look at this video move here.
We got Austin Eckler, 35-yard TD right here. Chargers needed a big play, and they come up with one, but still down 19-17.
That with 10 minutes left in regulation. Back to Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, guys. Chargers trying to get a win, and they've lost some heartbreakers, including right here in the first game.
That just shows you how strong this division is. That team's 0-3, and there goes Carr.
Ooh. Heading inside, 2nd and 11.
So now right here, this is what we call a sudden change, Jim. So they just ran that.
Charles.
And this, wow, this is just a big deal for every Raider fan out there right now. And you can tell, see how he's kind of walking with that back, a little back, like your shoulders are back, trying to protect it from grabbing. He's uncomfortable. You can see it in the walk. You don't want to just guess at what's going on, but that's, well, he's the franchise right there if you have one in the NFL.
3rd down and 9. Simeon on the slant, has his man for the first down at the 4. Emmanuel Sanders sets him up 1st and goal.
Just a slant. Inside, Sanders, good job, and he gives you the little bit of, I'm Emmanuel Sanders, first down. That's what we call a sudden change, though. The 4th down play, they go for it. Your defense, if they can come out and shut teams down after a turnover or after a play like that, it sends a message to everybody emotionally that you're going to stay in this game to the end. They have to stop them here.
1st and goal. Ball up in the air. And it's caught by a Bronco.
Are you kidding me?
It's Sanders.
This is the play of the game. Joseph with a blitz off the edge. And 5 guys are like calling for a punt return, basically. They're like, I got it. And here comes little Emmanuel Sanders, says, excuse me, Khalil Mack. This is my stadium.
Mack could have had it. It goes as a catch for Emmanuel Sanders and a loss of 10. End of 3 here in Denver. We'll start the 4th here in Denver with Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson. Jim Rickoff, our producer, Mike Arnold, directing. Jim Nance on the call here with the Broncos deep in Oakland territory after stopping a fake punt. Got a 2nd down and goal from the 14. Simeon's pass incomplete. Thomas gets up a little gimpy and had a hand on it for a moment. Let's get an injury update from Tracy.
Jim, it is a back injury for Derek Carr. He was taken to the locker room for further evaluation. They would not specify what part of the back he injured. Of course, as soon as I get anything, I will pass it on.
And E.J. Manuel. Looks like there's a strong chance that he could be going the rest of this way today. 3rd and goal. Caught. Fighting for it. And thrown down by James near the 10. But that injury, Tony, you've suffered back injuries. And when you saw him get hit in the back, that's one thing. But the neck being twisted at the same time has to compound things a little bit, too.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that was the case in that one, but you're right, that does. It's the twisting and then getting kneed at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, twisting of the neck. It's got your whole body.
But I think it's
around.
your back getting twisted a little bit. But you're on the right point. It's just a huge blow to this Oakland team. You remember we asked Rio, what did you learn after the playoff game? And he goes, I learned not to lose in the quarterback.
From 29, it's not no good. McManus.
Oakland's hanging around.
Chip shot. He had
very stoic Del Rio. Didn't give up any points on going that 4th and 11. I mean, that's a big time play.
He had made 50 in a row, Tony.
Oh my God.
From inside the 40, which was the longest active streak in the NFL, inside the 40. Before that, from 29.
Wow. Well, he was definitely due then.
And you're a kicker. The 29-yarder you never expect these days, with it being even shorter than a PAT.
Okay, right here I want a screen. I want something with my backup quarterback to get comfortable. He had a little time to think. He knows it's a big stage now. This drive's actually harder than the last one.
Lynch. Miller got him up high. Simmons down low. And Barrett gets the final part of that. Gain of 1. That's it. On Monday, members of the Raiders spent their lone off day of the week interacting with the young patients and families at the UCSF Children's Hospital in Oakland. The players visited various parts of the hospital, shared inspirational messages, signed autographs, took photos, and handed out Raiders-themed souvenirs. That was on Monday, after traveling back from Washington overnight. 2nd and 10. Roberts. And look at Roby with the form tackling, and he'll set up 3rd down.
I like it. Manuel stood in and threw a strike. If they're going to win this football game, he's going to have to step up and make a couple of big plays here, and this is one of them right now. Let's just listen to this crowd here, Jim. I bet it's going to rock here. As soon as they walk to this line of scrimmage, you're going to feel it.
Timeout called by Manuel. Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator.
He said, don't take a timeout. He says, just get out of the huddle, and if the guy's not lined up, you can snap that because he's not a part of the play.
Time for a ROMO promo. Thursday Night Football. Tell us about it.
About the Thursday promo? Well, we got the Buccaneers and the Patriots. It's going to be a good one. You know why? New England looks like they aren't quite the same team we've seen in the past. And Tampa Bay looks like they're better than we've seen in the past. Tampa Bay's leading 22-7 on the Giants right now. 17-7, I believe they. 22-17. I'll get it.
Yeah, you got it. We'll be there Thursday night.
18 people telling me over here in the notes.
3rd and 4, and here comes Miller. The building was rocking, and Miller seized the moment for a sack and a loss of 7.
And you see Newhouse, and there's a real subtlety. Miller gets one of his easiest sacks on the year. Watch Wolf hold Newhouse right there. See that? Wolf holds him barely and doesn't let him get out of his stance, and that's why Newhouse is screaming, I got held. Miller, just a cakewalk to the quarterback.
Oh, they got in there close. King's punt, dropped, and then fallen on by McKenzie at the 33. Edibali almost got there for the block. It was close.
Oakland with a dominant half offensively so far, Jim. -6.
How many times you see that? The game in the fourth quarter.
That's just hard to see. And I mean,
you're talking about 3 minutes into the second half, so no first downs in the half, -6 yards.
That's a tough one. And you know what? You got to give Denver credit, though. I mean,
absolutely.
Oakland they're going to be fine on offense this year if Carr's healthy.
Here's Simeon throwing on first down. And Sean Smith with the coverage as Simeon gets knocked to the ground, and you're probably wondering about that play.
I am, and you're going to see, I don't know why they did it, but as you can see, Mac's been the only guy really, him and Edwards have really kept Oakland in this today. Splitting double teams, hits on the quarterback, stripping the ball, and Miller just does what Miller does, which is usually close the game out around here. And, two special transcendent talents right there.
Miller, who made it very clear yesterday in our little chat how much he likes to play defense. He kept emphasizing that word. It's not just about rushing the passer, even though you saw it there in that package. 2nd and 10 as C.J. Anderson is moving in close to a 100-yard performance. That gives him 94 on 17 carries.
They should have ran that on first down. This Oakland can't. They got their backup quarterback. They haven't got a yard, of in the whole half, and they're over here throwing on first down. I just think you run the ball twice. You try and throw a slant on third down. If not, you punt the ball, and you make this team go 80 yards. Never give them an opportunity to get the ball back.
3rd and 6. Simeon steps up into it and delivers a strike to Derby, who caught the Broncos touchdown in that first quarter. That's one for 13. That's his 3rd catch for 64 yards, including the touch.
Well, you're going to see busted coverage. Look at the middle of the field right here. I mean, that's so much space. Simeon does a good job stepping up. And Oakland just does that a couple times where they don't just flow, they just kind of run a little bit, 2 guys to the same spot in the flat, which they did there. Now you run the ball twice in a row, right, Jim?
Yeah, going off your game plan. That's what they're going to do with that lead. And Anderson for 2 more. Mack on the tackle.
Now right here, you're telling your quarterback, if you're the coordinator Downing, or I'm sorry, if you're the coordinator McCoy, you're telling Simeon, take this down, snap the ball with 2 on the clock. You're never snapping this with 15 or 20 seconds. We're shortening the game from this point on.
They bring in an extra lineman, Stevenson. 6 linemen. Second and 9. Anderson set back 2. That's Markel Lee. By the way, the Raiders defense, it's not like they've been completely beaten up here today. They've given up only 284 yards and 1 touchdown.
They've really done a good job. I mean, a few too many rushing yards, I would say, but other than that, this Raider defense, if they play this good, you'd think that they're going to have a chance, to go on and win the division, be there at the end of the year. This is all predicated on Carr being healthy, obviously, but it's 3rd and 11. You got to be safe. Probably another chip right here off the edge.
Simeon's pass complete. Derby almost got there, but he's a yard short to the 39.
This is a tough call. This one is real difficult. I think you go for this.
Well, they're bringing in extra tight ends. They're going to show it.
I really do think you go for it right here. For me, in this specific game right here, 39-yard line, I don't like kicking the field goal. Your defense is great. Yep, they are. They're bringing them out. They're going for it.
We talked to Vance Joseph, and one thing it's very clear, he's going to be aggressive in everything he does. He says you don't win in this league if you're not going to be aggressive.
And he's right. The best coordinators are aggressive. Let's see if they, this has to be one of those bootlegs, doesn't it, to the other side of the field?
We're just trying to draw him off.
Yep, he did. He did the same thing he did earlier. had to make that decision quick. To make that decision means you have to decide not to kick the field goal, not to punt yet, try and draw him off sides, but you also have to decide we're not going forward 100%. All of that in about 3 seconds to make the decision to have a play call go in and not send out the other unit.
Look, you got 8:40 to go. The Raiders in negative yardage for the half. You got a chance here to pin them deep. You got the 2-score lead. Punt.
The only thing you don't do there is kick a field goal. That's the one thing you definitely don't do is kick the field goal. I'm fine with either one. You know, this punting, I'm fine. That means you just trust your defense, and it's like, please go score on a 90-yard drive and then go score again to end the game.
Punt. Backwards bounce from the 1. Down by Kreider. Brilliantly done by Dixon.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com. State Farm, here to help life go right. And by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach.
The Raiders take over at the 7. You're E.J. Manuel. You've got no Cooper, no Crabtree. Cooper basically non-existent, 1 catch. Going against this defense has been doing the kind of magical stuff it did in its Super Bowl winning season. What do you do here, Tony?
Well, I think the first thing you do is you pray. Second, you chip Von Miller off the edge.
Pass complete for 11 yards.
Come right out and fire to the sideline. They chip Miller and give him time. If I'm Manuel, every time I'm in the backfield, I'll put my back on the side that Miller lines up on, and I'm going to move him and just make sure he chips him over the ball. Let's see if they do that here.
That catch by Patterson. The running back is Olawale.
Right there. See if he chips him on his way out.
And Olawale really is a fullback. He didn't get him. There's up top, a man open. It's Cook. And Cook out to about the 47.
This is shocking. Denver decides to almost play a different coverage. You're going to see him run right up the seam, Cook, and it's just a zone coverage. That's almost a bust. You know, by Parks, you got to run with him.
Well, Parks had just come in at the last minute for that play because Darian Stewart was dinged on the previous play. So there you go.
It was a busted play. Denver's not going to play zone. And the fact they did it there was the first time in the game.
These last 2 plays yielding the first 2 first downs of the second half for Oakland. And Carr has 3 in a row first downs down to the 32. Gain of 22 with that one. We welcome you to Denver. Some of you just joining us. Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. It's been Denver and its defense, the real stars of this game. But now the Raiders trying to come up with some sort of any kind of hope here, and they've actually started to move the football. The drive that just started back at the 7. 3 plays, they've covered 61 yards to here. Manuel gets it to Cooper. His second catch of the game is good for about 8, and we got another update coming from Tracy.
Jim, I watched doctors go in and out of the locker room, and then I watched Derek Carr walk gingerly, shoulder pads off, to the x-ray room. The Raiders told me they would most likely not have an update until after the game. But of course, if they do, we will bring it to you immediately, Jim.
Thank you, Tracy. And again, some just joining us. Carr was injured in the 3rd quarter on a sack. He immediately reached for his back. And now they're conducting x-rays inside the stadium.
This is a zone blitz. Heads up for something coming here.
2nd and 2 to Patterson. And he's got the first down at the 20. And Carr, who had completed 10 passes in the game, got hurt right there, a knee to the back by Gotsis. Body was twisted at the time, and he was sent in for examination. Meanwhile, his backup, E.J. Manuel, is 8 for 8 and 5 for 5 on this drive.
He looks pretty good, Jim.
Well,
I mean,
really
what
does.
he's doing right now is pretty impressive.
Stands in the pocket. Goes to the end zone. And incomplete. That was Cook, who made a circus catch in the playoffs against the Cowboys down on the sideline from Aaron Rodgers when he helped get them on past the Cowboys and then to the NFC Championship game. And almost came up with another highlight right here.
They did a good job keeping the tight end Smith in there to hit Miller with a real chip, which is almost like, hey, I'm going to chip him 5 times and block him almost for you. If you block Miller, you can throw the ball down the field on these guys.
2nd and 10. Here they come. Pass away, and it's dropped. That is Cooper's 7th drop of the season, most in the league.
And you see Barrett off the edge, makes the ball get out, and Cooper just un-Cooper-like so far in a couple of these games to start the year. 3rd and 10. You've done a great job to get in this spot. You're in the football game.
And even if you don't get it, a field goal would be big. You trim it to a 1-score game. And the Raiders have just used their last timeout with 5.5 minutes to go.
That is just a killer.
It is.
Del Rio knows it too. I mean, there's 10 reasons that we could talk. I mean, if we talk strategy, you can never now challenge a play, not until 2 minutes, right? You're never going to be able to challenge a spot on the field if that doesn't go your way. On top of it, you're not going to be able to get the ball back, if they get more than 1 or 2 first downs the rest of the game. And, it just kills you. Now you get to delay a game anytime you guys don't get out of the huddle fast enough. But it's your backup quarterback. Things are going to happen. Tough environment. You know what? Screw it. EJ Manuel, step up there, throw this football right into it and deliver it.
Now you sound like you're on the field.
You ain't going to win this game if you ain't going to lay it on the line. I can promise you that.
I love it. Third and 10. Manuel over the top, and it's incomplete. It was Cook unable to hold on after contact.
What a throw. He threw it. Cook is he's in the end zone, and watch. He runs right by Parks. The ball's floated a little bit. Just go down and get it. I mean, he could catch this. There's no one there right there. Just catch it.
He felt the presence. Darian Stewart, remember, he was out on the big play to Cook early in the drive. He comes back out and helps make a play, and now it comes down to a field goal to get him within 1 score. To Vecchio from 38 yards, and he is good. And he is 7 for 7 on the season. Giorgio puts the Raiders down 6. EJ Manuel drives the Raiders 73 yards in 9 plays. Remember, they started back at the 7. They get the field goal. And now it's 16-10. The Broncos have 10 players up, but there's still 5:23 to go. They're going to kick it away.
That was smart. He didn't kick it all the way to the end zone. Really smart.
Kinsey falls down at the 14. Some of the headlines from earlier today, the early games, includes the Bills winning down in Atlanta. How about that?
Wow.
And they're 3-1 and in first place in the AFC East because the Patriots fall to 2-2, shocked by the Panthers.
Wow.
Okay. All right, let me get one more out of here. Okay. Deshaun Watson throws for 4 runs for 1.
Triple wow. I don't know where to go with that one.
I thought you would.
That's impressive. A rookie, 5 touchdowns. That's got to tie a record, right?
There are a lot of wows going on down in Houston because they found themselves a quarterback. They've been waiting a long time. 1st and 10. And they come out throwing. And that's Carey on the coverage of Sanders.
I love the play call. That's right there. We're going to go win this football game. This is the drive you go win it. Once they score some points, you come out and be aggressive on this drive. And you see right there Carey up against Sanders. And Sanders gets away with a little push off. Carey with a little nudge, a little back and forth. Smart with the ball, own territory.
Do you like that play call when you got a defense over there has no timeouts?
I love it. I actually love it.
Okay. Now we'll go to the ground, no doubt. As Anderson runs into the arms of Edwards for 2. Now what are they going to do?
I'm guessing they're going to throw. Super high level guess here. 3rd and 8. Got to be smart once again. Make sure the protection is the quarterback. Let's watch him, because if you're Oakland, you come up with your best blitz of the day. Something where the defenders are looking at the quarterback so you can try and get an interception while trying to break down the guys up front. We'll see if they do it.
We'll see what Mack does too. He's standing up.
They're not pressuring at all.
3rd and 8. Mack is thrown down, no flag.
There is now.
And stopped 3 yards short. Yeah, now I look back, was following the ball, but I was following Mack, and he got held and thrown to the ground.
Holding, offense number 75. Penalties declined. 4th down.
That's what Khalil Mack does for you. He just gets penalties, he gets hits, everything. You know, the problem of not coming after him, though, is you have really no chance of a turnover, because you're just never going to put enough pressure quickly on the quarterback to make him feel the duress to let the ball go early. You know, I love it when they rush 3 in a big situation. 4th guy is a late rusher, because you can stand in and wait for the progressions.
Richard is all the way back, expecting Dixon to really crush this one, but he doesn't. It's off the side of his foot. And the Raiders are going to help out here on the spot, which will be at the 42. It's a 37-yard punt. By the way, next Sunday, regional action on CBS. Got the Chargers at the Giants. Plus other regional action. Some will get their game late, like Baltimore at Oakland, Seattle at the Rams, and then coast to coast, of course, everyone. The NFL today at noon Eastern time next Sunday. Who would have thought, Tony, 4:16 to go, the Raiders would be in this position, have a chance to drive down the field and win the game, perhaps.
What an opportunity for E.J. Manuel. Doesn't get any tougher than this. You got the ball at the 42, not the 7 or 8 coming out. This is a chance for you to show your teammates, your coaches, the fan base. He's had a bunch of natural talent. Let go in Buffalo. Show everyone why you were taken in the 1st round right here.
On 1st down, Olawale gets away from Parks and was able to turn a no-gainer into a pickup of 4, finished off by Miller.
I'm loving what Oakland is doing. Watch, Olawale's in there for one reason. You're chipping Von Miller. Let's see if they, and this is a really cool thing in the 2-minute where he just lines up on the side that Miller is. Miller right there. Olawale, see if he chips him again on his way out.
2nd and 6. A connection with Roberts. Spins around to pick up the 1st down. He pivots around Harris and gains 7 and a 1st.
It's giving him time. If you let Miller go one-on-one, he will wreck this game. Keep doing it, Oakland.
Miller comes off the field for this next snap. He's replaced by DeMarcus Walker. Remember, they scored their touchdown in that 2nd quarter when Miller was out. Just taking a breather then as well. 7 on that line for the Broncos as Manuel flings it over the head of everyone. Cook in the area.
Manuel got a little hurried. He felt the pressure. They were all blocked up, so he was fine. But that's where starters, they know who's coming and who's protected, not 100%. The backup sometimes doesn't know for sure, so he wants to hurry and get rid of the ball.
Miller back on the field.
They're in 4-down territory here too, Jim, right?
Got to be with no timeouts.
Yep. So you got 2nd and 10, you're fine. You don't have to throw it down the field, just take whatever they're giving you. The problem is you got 6 guys on the line and only 5 rushers. You got to get this ball out fast.
Johnny Holton at the bottom of the screen. It's over to Olawale. Takes him head on, still on his feet, and actually gets shoved by a defender that may have knocked him even closer to the first. Look at Olawale.
This is a fullback. Look at this. Ah!
He says, hey, the beast mode, I'll bring it to Oakland too.
That's a big boy, and I tell you, he's showing something right here.
3rd and a foot with 2:20 to go, clock running.
And they're going to give him the ball, Jim.
Olawale has it. Jameis Olawale, that will take it to the 2-minute warning. And the Raiders are going to have a new set of downs at the 36 is where they spot it. What a turn of events. 16-10, Denver leads, trying to hold on.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about. And by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things fall.
And tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, the premiere of Jeremy Piven's Wisdom of the Crowd. Season premiere NCIS Los Angeles and SEAL team. 2 minutes to go. No timeouts for the Raiders. Down 6. With a first down from the Broncos 36. Backup quarterback E.J. Manuel. And we got a little twitch by the Raiders. Looked like it was Roberts in the slot. May have been another culprit too.
This is tough because we got offsides on Miller, but you got Roberts moving on the other opposite side of the field. It's whatever one he wants to call here. Who did it happen first? I think it's Roberts beforehand. If you're really going to, if he has to make a split decision, Roberts probably moves a 1/10 of a second before Miller jumps. They see it.
Ball start.
Trevor Siemian holding up 10 fingers saying, hey, it was on number 10. There it was.
He's pointing at Von Miller on the other side of the ball. Wasn't me.
From the 41. Fires it, almost intercepted. Nowhere near Roberts. Harris trying to make a play on the ball.
And he throws this, and at the top, Roberts slips a little, and Harris, has a chance to end the game right there. Any turnover, any stoppage of, 4 downs and out ends the game.
New offensive coordinator, backup quarterback, no timeouts. 2nd and 15 from the 41. Manuel in the pocket, down the field, and it is intercepted. Simmons with the pick. Out-battled Cooper for the football to save the day for Denver.
It's just cover 2 on that side. We call it 2 leech, and look at Simmons go up. You know what you love about Simmons? 31 right there, Jim. He is just about the most athletic guy in this building, and it's not really. This guy, watch the height he gets up and high points that ball. That's Amari Cooper who can high point him at the best of them. The ball is floated too long. EJ shouldn't have thrown that one to that spot. Simmons was all over it, and that's the guy that came over for TJ Ward. Ward is out, Simmons in. Big interception, 3-1 in the division.
Such a key win, too, for the Broncos because they go into a bye week and then have another home game against the Giants. So 4 of their first 5 at home. but they're going to have to play the meat of their season away from home. They'll have a 7-10 game stretch away from it. They had to get off to a fast start.
You're exactly right. They had to. With the home field advantage they have here, it's one of the best in the NFL. Big-time win today. That stretch, when you have 7 out of 10, no one does good in that stretch. I will say this, though. When you get 7 and 10 on the road, the one thing that does travel? Defense.
The defense.
And if you're anybody in the league who has defense, you're the Denver Broncos.
I think a lot of folks underestimated how good this defense would be once Wade Phillips wasn't back and went on to the Rams. But this is it's the Denver defense that's been so dominant for a number of years.
If anything, I would actually add they added, because they brought in, Pecco, and basically got bigger up front. They got guys playing well. They're still running Wade Phillips' system in the front 7. Their front 4, 7 are still running the same thing. And Vance Joseph coming in, you know what he added? Pretty cool coverages on the back end.
But he credited, by the way, Wade Phillips and Mike Zimmer as two guys that really heavily influenced him in his style. Meanwhile, the Raiders will head home 2-2, having played 3 of their first 4 away from home, and then a 3-game homestand coming up. But the big question we'll all be waiting for is the news on Derek Carr's health.
If you're an Oakland fan right now, you're 2-2. You're fine because you're going home. You should be okay. And that's all predicated, like you said, on Derek Carr coming out with good news this week after the X-rays.
Well, we started the day by talking about one of the best rivalry games in football. You've, of course, so accustomed to those rivalry games in the NFC East, and now you got a little sampling of what it's like out in the West.
Well, this was electric in this building. I've never actually been here in a studio that felt like this. I mean, remember the Washington Redskins RFK, I think it was, where they would jump up and down and feel the stadium rock? That's exactly how it felt here today. I'm coming back again this year.
You'll be back many times. The AFC West is really a great division, although the Chargers have gotten off to a winless start. Let's go to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. I'm here with Von Miller. And Von, you guys knew you needed to come in and rebound. What can you say about the defense's performance today?
Oh, yeah, I feel like we did a great job. We could have, limited the pass yards a little bit, but overall, great job. We continue to be dominant in the run. We're great on sudden change moments in the game, and I'm proud of everybody. Great job by, the second-year guy to end the game with the pick. It's an incredible game today.
I know it's early in the season, but to get this win against a divisional opponent, how big is that?
Oh, it's big. It's big. We got a tough division, a really tough division. So as many divisional wins as we can get, they help us later on. So great hard-fought win today, and I'm so proud of my guys today.
Appreciate the time. Thanks a lot, Jim.
That rush defense, thank you, Tracy, gave the Raiders only 24 yards on the ground on 14 carries, under 2 yards a clip. Tonight on CBS again, 60 Minutes, Wisdom of the Crowd, season premiere, or series premiere, and then NCIS Los Angeles, SEAL Team. It's all tonight on CBS. Well, the game started with an electrifying play by this guy right